this is Matthew Hofmann with another episode of Do-It-Yourself Airstream. Today we're looking at rotational molded tanks, and we're replacing tanks in a vintage Airstream trailer. We have 3 tanks. In a lot of the later Airstreams you'll find 3 tanks: the black water tank, the toilet, the gray water tank, which is the shower and the sinks, and then we have a freshwater supply tank. A lot of times these tanks are located in the subfloor between the lower skin of the trailer and the wood floor that you generally walk on. So here you'll see 2 tanks. These are both ABS plastic tanks from Inca, I-N-C-A Tank Company. And we have ordered these tanks to fit in a new design. So we have some new fittings here placed on the tanks. This is the gray water tank, which we're going to be putting in the floor. And you'll see these are called spin fittings. You can order these directly from the supplier. This is an 1.5-inch outlet valve, which will connect to the dump valve. We have other inlet valves here and over here for a vent. That'll go right there. This tank here is the black water tank, again from Inca Plastics, ABS. We have a outlet valve over here, and we have a toilet flange, if you'll see all the way down there, again with a vent pipe. Right at the edge of the black water tank, you'll see that we've installed a... Here, I'll walk back here with you. You'll see that we've installed a shower drain in the floor, which actually goes down to a P-trap and continues over here into the gray tank. This is a black water tank. This is built custom. We have a design where this tank will sit above the floor. These are spin fittings. These were installed from the factory, from Inca Plastics. This is a toilet flange. This is an 1.5-inch vent pipe. And you'll see all the way over here, this is a 3-inch outlet valve, which will connect to the dump valve underneath the trailer. Okay, this is a gray water tank. This is made of ABS plastic, and we custom manufactured this tank to fit in between the floor, in the subfloor. We have some spin fittings installed. These are from the factory. This is a vent line. Over here we have a supply line from the shower, and we have an 1.5-inch outlet line, which will go underneath the trailer to the dump valve. Here's the freshwater tank. You'll see that this was an old freshwater tank, which was originally located in the front of the trailer. This tank has since cracked and it's deteriorated over time, so we ordered another tank from Inca Plastics. This is custom manufactured. It's one of their tanks that already has a mold, so we didn't have to pay too much. You can see what we did here is cut up the floor to remove the plywood so we can see what's underneath. There's about 7 inches here, depending on where you are, 5 to 7 inches. And some of the stuff you'll generally find inside the subfloor of an Airstream, you'll find these webbed steel joists. To either side, these are generally solid. A lot of times they ran heating vents, heating ducts in between the joists. This is the bottom skin. And you'll see that this is very uncommon. They actually had some blown-in foam insulation. Typically from Airstream they had batt fill insulation. This is probably something that someone did, a prior user, a prior owner, blew in some insulation for some added heat. Okay, we have the gray water tank. It has been installed in the floor, and I wanted to take some time to show you what it looks like. It's about 5 inches thick. It's installed between the sub panel and the aluminum skin underneath. We have a couple lines coming into the tank at various locations. Let's start with this one over here. This is being fed in from the top of the tank, which comes up over. This is a vent line. You're going to need a vent line for every single water feed before it goes into the tank. And this is how the Airstreams were built, where the vent line comes up the side of the trailer. And this line here, which has been left open, will go to the future sink. Coming over here, you'll see 2 lines coming into this side of the tank. This is a shower line, which continues underneath the floor behind me, and this will be our sink line. These lines are being used for 2 purposes. We're going to use the same vent over here to vent this tank. We could also throw up another vent right here and couple it with another vent coming up through this side of the trailer. And that's the gray tank. Now you can see we have the floor in. The subfloor has been installed. Previously you saw some tanks and some lines that were running back and forth underneath the floor. Something to consider that's very important when you're installing systems in a trailer like this is to make sure that you have, if you're putting in new lines, to have access from both sides of the trailer. If you come in closer, you'll see that we have two PEX lines, a hot and a cold, running from either side of the trailer, along with some conduit which will allow us to run new electrical wiring from one side of the trailer to the other. This can be difficult if you don't think of this ahead of time and you have cabinetry on either side of the trailer. One may have electrical, one may need it. Coming over here, you can see this is our black water tank, which is installed on top of the floor. This is the flange where you'll put in the toilet. This is a vent line which will go up through a wall, which will be installed right here, going up through the ceiling. And then if you come over here, you'll see this is our outlet. This goes down through the floor, will turn at 90 degrees, go to the dump valve, and then out the side of the trailer. These are a couple of simple plumbing straps which will secure the tank in place.